Now, you see, for once you establish the cause of all reality, yeah, the mind can't know what the nature of that cause is, because it's beyond the mind to be able to judge the nature of the cause. All the mind can do is establish that there was a cause, yeah, and that cause is independent of the effect. So once we've come to a first cause of all of reality, we know that the first cause is not part of the reality, it's independent from it, and it must exist necessarily, because if it didn't exist necessarily, there's something brought it into existence. Right, so we know it exists necessarily and it's independent from all of reality. That's all the mind can infer. Now it's up to the cause to inform us about the nature of who that cause, of what that cause is. You and I, we can't sit and rationalize what the cause could be. So it becomes a scriptural question now, isn't it? The cause must inform human beings about the nature and character of that cause. So in our tradition, the Quran discloses the character of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah informs creation about Himself, from Himself. The mind, I cannot infer that Allah is At-Tawwab, Al-Ghaffar, Al-Ghafoor, Al-Wadud. How is my mind going to be able to come to that conclusion? It can't. Can you see? It can't. Because it's beyond what the intellect can judge and make a judgment about. Because I don't know. So, similarly, the cause must inform us about the nature of that cause. So, now, I know there's a bit of tussle amongst ulama, again, about those who are more sort of nas inclined, traditionally sort of hadith inclined, and not sort of theology inclined, not kalam inclined, yeah? Now some ulama say they don't like this term wajibul wujud, like Allah is a necessarily existent being, because you're reducing Allah to some kind of modal category. Look, the ulama aren't saying that the term wajibul wujud, Allah as a necessarily existent being, captures who Allah is. No, nobody ever said that. All that is, that's just a philosopher's, a theologian's term to say the cause of the universe is something that exists necessarily. It can't exist accidentally, can it? You can't say it exists accidentally, because when you say something exists accidentally, you are saying it's possible that it not exist. So for example, I'm being here is accidental. It's not necessary that I'm here. There's no contradiction in saying he wasn't here today. Yeah? It's quite possible I could have been at my relative's house. It's quite possible I could have been in a different session. It's quite possible I could have been stuck on a bus and not make it here. The fact that I'm here is contingent. It's not necessary. There's nothing about me being here that is necessary logically. So when the ulama say Allah is wajibul wujud, the khaliq, al-kawn is wajibul wujud, it just is a modal category. It's a category to say Allah has to exist. He cannot not exist. Or the creator of the universe cannot fail to exist. It's impossible. That's all. Now to understand the nature of this wajib al-wujud, you have to go to the Quran al-Kareem and the Hadith al-Sharif, because that's from the ghaib, isn't it? Allah is informing us about Him from Himself. The mind can't reach there. The mind can't reach there. So who is Allah? That's something that is settled by Scripture, by the Quran. And then we have to look to how Allah has described Himself in the Quran. That's a dars for Aqeedah, yeah. So who is Allah?